did he do that was worthy of having a street named after him?
I think he just managed to live on that road. Not many people live down on that end of the community, but he and about 2 or 3 others live down there. So yeah, and Holland Drive was the name, and it was kind of a beautiful, beautiful childhood as I look back on it. You know, a lot of time spent with family, a lot of time spent listening to stories, old people telling the stories of their lives. And I think that probably is what inspired me to become an actor. They also, you know, Bessemer itself is, you know, a community that struggles financially. I mean, a lot of people it's a very working class community. A lot of people are struggling, and certainly were struggling back then as well. But I was raised in a house that was full of love, and we never, you know, felt the lack, really, even though there certainly was. We never felt it. And I had have parents who just, you know, taught me to believe in myself and to believe that anything was possible.
So it sounds like you had a really big extended family in the town where you grew up. A lot of African Americans from the South, particularly places like Alabama, once they could, decided to go to the North where there might be more opportunity. Were any members of your family part of the Great Migration North?
Yeah, for sure. My father, I had 3 older brothers, all of whom moved to New York City as soon as they finished high school and took jobs up there. On my mother's side, there were several people who moved to Ohio, to Dayton, Ohio, and to Chicago to take jobs up there. But a number of people stayed behind as well.
I wonder how much of a conscious decision that was. Like, if they asked themselves, should we stay or should we go?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I know in the case of my family, you know, my grandparents, when I was growing up, both of my grandparents lived with us. My grandmother had cancer, and my grandfather had a stroke. And so both of them were in need of help. And so I think while my father's 3 older brothers left, my father decided to stay, I think, largely to help take care of his family, his parents. And I know that he's had opportunities created this pattern of behavior in me where, you know, I felt I had to prove my worth all the time, you know, and that I wasn't allowed to make bad decisions or make mistakes or to be wrong. That I had to be right, you know, every time. I've always been so frightened of being wrong that it sort of kept me in the middle. So that's one of like many examples that I could give, but you know, I've thought about that a lot, and as I look back over my life, I can see the places where that like instances like that still to this day affect my relationships with people and the choices that I make, you know, and I'm trying to do a better job of letting go of those things.
That must have had a big effect on you if you still have that Valentine's card.
Yeah, I do. And it did. And and there are a lot of things like that. I remember, not to get too, but I remember also there was I had a cousin who I was very close to growing up, who I'm gonna say that who I was close to growing up, and he got involved in some bad activities. Essentially, he and some other people who I know had a very, very bad idea to try and burglarize this little 5 and dime store that's in the area where we grew up in. And after they had gone in and done what they stole, you know, a few $100s or whatever it was that they got, on the way out, my cousin, who was 17 at the time, was shot in the back by the store owner. And the store owner, and he was killed eventually. He died that night. And the store owner was also our baseball coach. Which, so there's always been down where I grew up this like really kind of complicated friction between people in the community that I grew up in, the white people who also sort of share that same community, or, you know, the community sort of adjacent to it. There's always been this tension, you know, and I've often felt sort of in the middle of it, like definitely belonging to my own family, my own culture, my own neighborhood, but then also often finding myself in, you know, like I went to a private school that was on the other side of town, and just not quite knowing, you know, where I fit, how I fit, if I fit. And a lot of the characters that I choose to play are also wrestling with, I think, similar things, that question of like identity and where they fit. So it's clearly, to answer the question, like a thing that I'm still trying to figure out and unpack all of that stuff is.
Was the baseball coach white?
Yeah.
My guest is Andre Holland. He co-starred in Moonlight, The Nick, and Selma, and stars in the Stephen King-inspired series Castle Rock. We'll hear more of the interview after a break. When I saw Andre Holland in the film Moonlight, I thought his performance was so good, so subtle. I wanted to know, who is this actor? And now that I've gotten to learn more about him, I'm even more in awe of him. Movies, music, books, they're an important part of my life. Hearing from the people who create them only deepens my appreciation and comprehension of their work. Bringing you those people, their stories, that's part of what we do on public radio. By supporting public radio, you're supporting in-depth coverage of our popular culture, as well as in-depth coverage of the news. In my opinion, that's really worth the investment. Please become a member of this station. Thank you. I'm Terry Gross.
And I'm Rebecca Kruth here with Steve Schramm, and you are listening to Fresh Air on Michigan Radio. And Michigan Radio brings you fresh air because thousands of listeners have decided that strong public radio is important in their community. Please do your part now to support the journalism you trust. Just go to michiganradio.org or call 888-258-9866.
Rebecca, I don't know if anybody can say it any better than Terry Gross just did. That was just
that was really nice.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. And it was absolutely heartfelt. And her efforts of bringing us fresh air are part of what you expect every day from Michigan Radio. So I want you to know about our goal. Our goal is to raise $3,600 in the next 21 minutes so that we can make our goal this hour. It'll help us carry out that mission of public radio that Terry spoke about, and it ensures that NPR and Michigan Radio can continue to provide the community with the news and the information and the conversation programming that you hear on the station every day. Now is your time to become part of the Michigan Radio family. Maybe you were before and it's lapsed and you need to come back again. We're inviting you back into the house. 888-258-9866 or go online to michiganradio.org.
Think about how often you listened to Michigan Radio in 2018. Maybe it was for breaking news. Maybe there was a special report. Maybe it was an in-depth conversation about something that you really care about. Michigan Radio was able to bring all of that to you this year because of you. Listener contributions make Michigan Radio what it is. Please make an end-of-year gift to the station right now so that we can be here for you in 2019. Give now at michiganradio.org or call 888-258-9866.
We hear from sustainers who want to know how they can help out during our membership drives. Well, you can always encourage your friends and family to become sustainers. We'd appreciate that. Or you can consider increasing your current contribution by a few dollars, maybe $5 or $10, or maybe more. Increasing your sustaining gift increases the resources Michigan Radio has to go out and cover the stories that are important to you. You can increase your gift at michiganradio.org, or you can also call us right now. That's simple, takes about 2 minutes, 888-258-9866.
Think about how much you enjoy listening to Michigan Radio. Think about how much you value it. Just choose an amount that works for you, and then go to michiganradio.org or call 888-258-9866. Your contribution makes a difference and makes our work possible in the new year. Support for Michigan Radio comes from Frederick Meyer Gardens and Sculpture Park, presenting Christmas and holiday traditions around the world, now through January 6th. The exhibition is designed to inspire joy for the season with decorated holiday trees and a railway garden. MeyerGardens.org.
All year, Michigan Radio brought you voices and experiences that make our state unique.
Seeing the moon set into the lake is an amazing thing all by itself. Seeing a full moon that's being eclipsed set into the lake. Now we're starting to talk about an amazing Michigan thing.
After finishing The Virgin Suicides, I realized that it was the experience of growing up in Detroit that really led me to write the book.
And 1980, I moved into a house with some other guys all like beer, and went out and bought a kit and started brewing in my basement.
Help Michigan Radio bring you more ideas from around the state and the world in 2019. Make an end-of-year gift today.
You can do it at michiganradio.org or by calling 888-258-9866.
And I have a special for you, and it's all about socks. It's about not a pair of socks, 2 pair of socks. The Public Radio socks. One has a beautiful rendering of the NPR logo and the Facts Matter and Michigan Radio logo. And the other one says Public Radio Nurse. You get your choice of style in Public Radio Sockery for $180 or $15 a month. Put your best foot forward. Go online and look at them at michiganradio.org. They're only $180 for 2 pairs of socks today, so it's not going to last forever. Make your gift right now. Go on. You will enjoy seeing these online at michiganradio.org, or if you take my word for it, call 888-258-9866 and say, I need the socks.
The socks are hot. This fun drive is about you. It's about what you want your days, your evenings, your weekends to sound like. It's about taking care of something that's important to you. Please give online at michiganradio.org or call 888-258-9866.
This is Fresh Air. I'm Terry Gross, back with more of one of our favorite recent interviews, our interview with Andre Holland. He co-starred in Moonlight, The Nick, Selma, and 42, and stars in the Stephen King-inspired series Castle Rock. I spoke with him in August 2018 when he was in London at Shakespeare's Globe Theatre playing the title role of Othello. When we left off, he just shared 2 formative events from growing up in Alabama. One, when his cousin burglarized a store and was shot in the back by the owner and died. The store owner, who was white, was Andre Holland's baseball coach at the time. The other story was when Holland gave his 4th grade crush a Valentine, and she wrote back a nasty note using a racial slur. The school that you went to where you got that Valentine, that horrible Valentine, was that an integrated school?
It was a Christian school, so it was meant to be integrated, but there were school for a year, and in that year, I think I maybe brought a book home once. The whole school year. To the point where my mother used to tell me, if you get off that school bus tomorrow without a book, you're gonna be in big trouble. But I still managed to make all A's. It just wasn't a challenging environment, and a lot of my friends were doing things that, gangs were big back then, so people were joining gangs and fighting and doing stuff, and my parents could see it coming, so they wanted me to go to a school that was different from that. So that's why they sent me there, I believe.
I'm still processing that your baseball coach shot your cousin in the back. What was your relationship like with the baseball coach after that? I can't imagine being coached by him after he shot your cousin.
Yeah, I didn't play anymore on that team. I ended up playing someplace else, but I still saw him around. I played baseball all the time growing up, and so we would come into contact with one another from time to time.
Was the coach ever punished?
I don't believe so. This was many years ago, and I was 17 at the time, but I don't believe he ever was punished.
That must have been really frightening for you, no?
Yeah, it was, but this is the interesting thing, Terry, that I'm learning about myself, is that, it was frightening, but I think that I got very good at putting those feelings away whenever these things would happen, basically the same thing I did with that stupid Valentine's card. I just tucked it away in a drawer somewhere. You know what I mean?
You held on to it, but tucked it away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I hid it.
Yeah.
And so that nobody else could see it.
Yeah.
And it felt that my sort of survival and progression felt dependent on nobody else being able to see it. And I did the same thing with those feelings, I think. And it's only now, in recent years, I think that I'm really starting to look at how those things have continued to affect me in my adult life.
Has the stage and in front of a camera been safe places for you to express feelings that you never felt comfortable expressing in real life, and to draw on experiences that you kept tucked away?
Absolutely. And this play I'm doing right now, there's an opportunity to express a lot of that, which is really uncomfortable for me. But I'm doing my best to go to those places.
Like expressing Othello's rage.
Yeah, exactly. His rage and his grief, and I think also his that experience of look, Othello's a guy who has assimilated into a society that's not his own, and one of the reasons that he's been allowed to assimilate is because these people consider him to be valuable. As a general, he's sort of led their army, and that, I believe, is one of the reasons that he's allowed to continue his relationship with Desdemona. But what does that do to a person who's living sort of straddling these two worlds, one that's his own and one that he wants to be a part of, but he knows that that's conditional? And I know what that experience is, going to those private schools where I was sort of told, well, you've been chosen to be here, you're lucky to be here, and at the same time being told, well, you're not like those other black boys from your neighborhood, but knowing in my heart that I absolutely am just like those black boys in my neighborhood. You know what I mean? So feeling that sort of, I guess, gratitude and acceptance of opportunity, but at the same time, anger and frustration at the short-sightedness of the people who are given those opportunities, and being sort of trapped in that middle place is something I'm interested in exploring with Othello, and also, with myself.
In the movie Selma, about the civil rights movement, you played Andrew Young, who had been the executive director of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, later became a congressman from Georgia, mayor of Atlanta. Your mother worked for him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she worked, actually, he shared an office with another gentleman, so she worked with that gentleman, but got to know Andrew Young quite well during the voter education project.
So did she tell you a lot of stories about the civil rights movement?
Oh yeah. She and my dad both did. Yeah, in fact, my family owns and has owned for quite some time, a funeral home
4 young girls were killed in that bombing.
Exactly.
It's one of the like really infamous incidents of the civil rights era. So anyway, so your family had a funeral home across the street from that. Were the girls buried in that funeral home?
One of them was. And I'm not sure which one was out, so I don't want to misspeak.
Sure.
Yeah, one certainly was. And my Uncle Ernest, who ran the funeral home, he always told stories about the civil rights movement. And my dad did as well. Everybody did. Like, I grew up really steeped in that sort of, that history. And one of my favorite stories that my Uncle Ernest used to tell is at the funeral home there was a man named Reverend Weaver, a white man who used to work with organizers to try and fight, Jim Crow and racist policies. And on this one particular night, apparently a group of white guys got behind Reverend Weaver and chased him on through the city. And he wound up on the doorstep of the funeral home, and he knocked on the door late at night, and Uncle Ernest let him in and took him in the back, and in order to keep him from being killed, hid him in a casket. And the white guys came in and looked all through the funeral home, and they couldn't find it. And Uncle Ernest loved to tell that story. And about 6 years ago, maybe more like 7 or 8 years ago, Uncle Ernest's wife, my great aunt Materia, who passed away, and I was at the funeral, and I remember sitting there, and towards the middle of the service, this little white man with a few pieces of hair on the top of his head and these bright blue eyes filled with tears came shuffling into the back of the church, and he made his way up to the front and got up behind the pulpit and told the story about the night that my Uncle Ernest saved his life.
That's an amazing story.
Yeah.
So given your family's activity in the voting rights movement, is voting really important to you?
Extremely important. It has been all my life, and my mother made sure that we all, two sisters and I, all understood the importance of it, and that we would go with her when she would vote at every election, she and my parents. And speaking